Hi everybody, it's Cindy the Scrapologist. It's Monday, so I am here with our latest color palette. Are you ready? Ta-da! Fern Greens. I love this one. It's very summery. It's another Better Homes and Gardens layout because I just love the way they lay it out. It just looks beautiful. The way they've photographed all these different colors, it's very nicely done. Whoever their graphic artist is did a wonderful job. So Fern Greens, it says pure and crisp. These greens are currents of fresh air, and they're um, colors that you would see in nature. So we've got an antique green here, one called Frolic, which is tinged with a little bit of gold. Spring leaf, and they say this one matches very well with ivory. This one is green twig, and it says that it has notes of blue in it. And then Season's Promise, which has a splash of white in it to make it that color. So this is our color palette for the week of July 15th for those of you who are joining in with the challenge. And we're going over to the Papercraft Fan Club and posting our projects. So I didn't have a lot of time this morning. My morning ended up being outside of the studio. I thought I was going to be in here a lot sooner. So I didn't have time to really pull a lot of things, but one thing that I thought of course, is ferns. And a month or so ago, I did a tutorial on pounded flowers where I pounded ferns and other flowers onto fabric. Don't you love that? This was my favorite one. This is a fern, and these were some flowers that were out in my yard. And then I pounded some other leaves and ferns onto some watercolor paper. And so these obviously are in this color palette. So maybe I'll finally do something with these because they've been sitting around since I did that video. And maybe it's time to use them. So I found that. Now, one of the purposes of this, besides learning about color palettes and learning how to combine colors, is to use your stash. Don't go out and buy anything. You should be able to find things that are comparable in your stash because, as I discussed in the first video, 40 to 60% of your project should just be one color. So pick one color to be your primary color. If you have a lot in your stash of one particular color, then that's your primary color, and one or two are your secondary color, and then you find one color that's just going to be a pop, just an accent color. So you don't have to use all of these colors. You want to kind of pick one primary one. So I went through my stash. I also found these rub-ons, which I've had forever. I don't even know where I got them or why. I think I think honestly I got them back in the 80s to, when back in the 80s when we used to stencil our kitchens, put these things all across the top of the kitchen wall. I probably got them then. Oh, you know what? I did. I put these on my ceiling fan back in the 80s. So I've had these a long time. My goodness. But this I think is definitely in this color palette. I found some scrapbook paper, but it doesn't really seem to match. These look more antique and vintage and tending more towards yellow to me, so I didn't think this really matched all that well. And I found some S&H stamps that are green, but again, it's more blue and red, so that doesn't match. And some vintage ephemera from the 1940s doesn't really match. So I didn't find much yet, but I'm sure I will. I have a whole studio full of stuff. So I wanted to show you quickly something else that I discovered recently. Maybe this has been out for a while. I don't know. But Die Cuts with a View has a paper collection, 12 by 12, called Postcards. It's double-sided, and it has a lot of postcards and other ephemera that you can just cut out and put in your journals. I really liked it. And it's on a nice thicker cardstock. So you get two of each of these. Some of them are not good for cutting out. That's another good one. I'm just going to do it sideways. Sorry, guys. This has a whole page of things to cut out and use in your journals or on your scrapbook pages or on cards. Now, this is one that there's really not a lot that you can just cut out and use. Well, maybe a postage stamp or, in this, but these pages are really good for collages. Tear them and collage with them. These can all be cut out. That's a real pretty page. It's kind of bizarre. It doesn't have anything to do with the rest of this, but that's okay. Another collage page. These are cute, all airmail envelopes. These could all be cut out. Postcards. More cutouts. Again, the red, I don't get it, but it's okay. I guess maybe they're trying to match up some of these postage stamps or something. There's some nice lined paper that can definitely go in a journal or on a scrapbook or a card. This is a nice one. Look at all the nice things on here to cut out. Very, very nice. Collage sheets. All in those nice vintage tones with some pops of color here and there. So anyway, I just wanted to, if you haven't seen this yet, I just got it in the mail this morning and I really like it, so I thought I'd show it to you all just quickly. But this is the topic for today, fern greens. I hope that you do something with it either this week or next and post in the Papercraft Fan Club. Sometime this week I'll be posting whatever project I do with these colors. I don't know what it's going to be yet. And thank you for watching. Have a great week. I'll see you later.